right now. So what we're trying to do is want you guys to let's see. We're waiting for the call to start. Just a brief introduction. I'm a little, flustered today. There's a lot of shit going on. We're waiting for the Canelo versus Chavez media call to start. So what I'm doing is I'm sharing the video around real quick. It's supposed to start at 2 p.m. It's 1:59. Sometime they may be like 10 minutes late. So this is something that going forward in the future, the quality is going to get better. I've been saying the same things in all of my videos, for the last month now. We're evolving, so give me time to, get everything's falling into place. So let me share this video around. Hopefully we're going to get a question in. We don't know how long this call is going to be. The longest media call I ever been on was an hour and a half. Now you have to understand, you're going to get some media members that are going to ask questions that you don't give a fuck about. That's just the, that's just the gist of things, So me, since I'm like low on the totem pole, for example, they go with like ESPN first, CBS Sports, Yahoo Sports, boxing scene, and they go down the line. So if I get a question in, if there's enough time, it may not be until the end. So the question I want to ask is, I really want to talk about like the weight, That's what I really want to know about is the weight. How he feels Mima Haradia is helping him. Shit like that. Then we have time. What I'm going to do is you can't demand being heard first. It's like a button you got to push and you get into a queue. So what we're going to do is I'm going to upload this video. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do this video. After the call, we're going to spend a half an hour talking about Canelo Chavez. Then I'm going to upload the full media call itself and that half an hour in separate videos, so people won't be bitching and complaining. Have you seen the recent? Yeah, I seen the photos. Then after this, I'm going to wait about an hour, and we're going to do I got to do another live stream, a video on Kovalev versus Ward, because I didn't get a chance to talk about what happened yesterday, and I was at the press conference. So let me finish sharing this video around. I forgot what I was doing. Well, but basically, as you can see, I've been working, you know. So I think I got like a couple more. Wait, let's check. I think I got a couple more videos to put out from yesterday.
We thank you for your patience. Once again, your conference will begin shortly.
Okay, yeah, they're going to be starting soon. So yeah, still got stuff from yesterday I got to put out. I'm going to be at Berto versus Porter's next weekend. I'm going to be there for that. Let's see here. So, what do you guys want to talk about in the meantime until it starts? It's going to start any minute. Yeah, it's looking like Golovkin is waiting for Canelo. Fighting in June, after going 12 rounds in March, and then fighting in June was just unrealistic. Because they would have had to announce the fight that night or that Monday and then go right into training camp after having like a week off. So I guess they probably really thought they were going to knock out Danny Jacobs. It was going to be a short night, I guess. Probably. But Chavez has the opportunity to fuck up a lot of people's. He has the opportunity to fuck up a lot of plans, you know. He can fuck up a lot of shit. Yeah, we're gonna get comfortable. We're gonna be here for a while. So what we're doing is we're waiting for the media call to start. It's gonna be starting any moment. I'm gonna ask some questions. I probably won't be able to get any questions in until the end. My question is gonna be concerning weight, because when you're on these media calls, you get about 2 questions at most. Now me, since I'm on like the bottom of the totem pole, my question won't come until later on. You know, like in the call, probably late. You know, so let me write my question down so I don't stumble over my words. And we're gonna go from there.
Alvarez International Media Conference Call. My name is Allie, and I will be your operator for today's call. All participants are in a listen-only mode. Later, we will conduct a question and answer session. During the question and answer session, if you have questions, please press star, then 1 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I will now turn the call over to Oscar de la Hoya.
Thank you very much. Gracias a todos los medios que nos acompañan a nivel internacional. Estamos muy contentos. We're very happy, very glad. Thank you very much to all the media from all over the world. We are obviously roughly less than 30 days away from the big event, Canelo versus Chavez, which will take place on the Cinco de Mayo weekend on May 6th at the brand new state-of-the-art T-Mobile Center in Las Vegas. Just to let you know, the response has been unbelievable. We haven't had a Mexican showdown on Cinco de Mayo weekend in a very, very long time, and the demand has been incredible. I haven't seen anything like it since the Barrera versus Morales, since De La Hoya Chavez. So this is going to be an incredible weekend for our boxing fans. I would like to thank the best partner in the business, which is HBO. for being our broadcaster for this incredible event. At this moment, let me take the opportunity to thank our sponsors, Tecate, Born Bold, Hennessy, O'Reilly's Auto Part, Adriana's Insurance, and Interjet, which will be doing a massive on the global scale of marketing, which has been unheard of in the sport. They have created several different spots and commercials, which will be kicking in the next few days. We have created a special commercial for the actual fight, which should be a huge surprise to many. It'll be a commercial that transcends the sport of boxing, and obviously it's because of the two fighters who are involved. This fight is not only a fight for the boxing fans, but also a fight that casual sports fans have really been behind and supporting because of their careers, because of the records. So we're really excited, as you can hear. So at this moment, let me also let you know, the press, that we will be having the Canelo's media workout on Wednesday, April 19th. Wednesday, April 19th at the House of Boxing in San Diego. More details will follow, so you want to stay tuned. Canelo will be having his last open media workout. One thing about Canelo, he's been very courteous and to the media. He opens up his camp. He lets people in every single day, so the media can follow his every move, so it can be part of the fight. So we want to thank Team Canelo. On that note, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Team Canelo. And first off, I would like to introduce to you the manager and trainer of Canelo. Les quiero presentar el manager y entrenador del Canelo, José Chavez Reynoso. Unas palabras, mucho gusto. Bueno, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Hello, everybody. Good afternoon to everybody. Nosotros estamos muy bien, la preparación que la está llevando y confiados en la Se oye muy mal, se oye la conexión muy mal, pero he said, he's very happy how camp's going, how training's going, and they're anxious and ready, to give everybody a spectacular performance on May 6th. Thank you, Chepo. Also, at this time, I would like to introduce to you the trainer of Canelo Alvarez, who has been doing an incredible job. We've seen the progression. We've seen his growth, his speed, his power, which has been unbelievable at the tender age of 26 years old. I would like to introduce to you the trainer, Eddie Reynoso. Eddie. Hola, buenos días. Estamos muy bien, estamos bastante bien, vamos a estar muy bien para llegar. Good morning to everybody that's listening, and we're doing really well. We're training very hard, and we're just, anxious and ready for May 6th. Gracias, Eddie. En este momento, at this moment, I would like to introduce to you the young man who, at the tender age of 26 years old, has already accomplished more than 99.9% of the fighters achieve in their entire career. He's a two-time division world champion at both the junior middleweight and middleweight levels. Has had his hand raising victory 38 times with 34 knockouts. He has taken all comers and has defeated almost every single one, including Miguel Cotto, Amir Khan, Austin Trout, champions like Sugar Shane Mosley, the spectacular knockout against James Kirkland, the masterful boxer in Elizandi Mara, and the list goes on and on and on. And he's only 26 years old, so it is my pleasure. It's un gran placer to introduce to you taking on Chavez Jr. on May 6th. This is Canelo Alvarez.
Hola, ¿qué tal a todos? Saludándolos y pues aquí contento de estar con ustedes nuevamente en otra pelea más y contento entrenando como siempre al 100% para brindar una gran pelea y más tiempo.
Good afternoon to everybody. I just want to say thank you once again. Another one of our fights to be in here. And do what I always do. Train hard, 100% focus, and ready to give you guys all a great performance. Thank you very much, Saul. And now I would like to open it up for questions from the media. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone. If you're using a speakerphone, you may need to pick up the handset first before pressing the numbers. Once again, that is star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone for a question. And our first question comes from Salvador Rodriguez from ESPN Deportes. Please go ahead.
Un saludo para todos, Oscar, para los Reynoso, para Canelo. Canelo, primero para ti. ¿Crees que es Chávez el primer peleador en casi 50 peleas profesionales al que tienes ganas de arrancarle la cabeza? The question is, to Canelo, if he's the first of his 50 opponents that he really feels like he wants to rip his head off.
Pues es un avance de 50, ¿no? A todos obviamente he querido arrancarle la cabeza. Esta obviamente tiene la rivalidad, ese extra, ¿no? Ese coraje extra, obviamente, pues obviamente pues un poco más, ¿no? Pero a los 50 estoy con ganas de arrancarle la cabeza a los 50 rivales que he tenido y pues es uno más, simplemente es uno más.
Canelo's response was, no, he's one more of the 50 of all my opponents that I faced. I wanted to rip their head off. I wanted to beat them. I wanted to knock them out. But this is a little extra. There's a little bit more motivation, of course, because of the rivalry. But it's another one of my fights. Gracias, Canelo. Aprovechando que está Eddie Reynoso, preguntarle, Eddie, ¿qué es lo más difícil de enfrentar a Julio Cesar Chávez? ¿Qué va a ser lo más difícil desde tu punto de vista? El tema del peso, el tema de la técnica, el tema de la fortaleza. ¿Qué es lo más difícil que pudiera ser para Chavez Jr. este 6 de mayo? The question is for Eddie.
No, lo más difícil
A ver, Eddie, dame un paso en inglés. The question is for Eddie. What's the most difficult part of facing Julio Cesar Chavez? Is it the weight, the strength, the technique, or his strength? Ahora sí, Eddie, perdón.
Lo más difícil de enfrentar a Chávez porque es un peleador mexicano. Y pues las peleas entre los mexicanos son peleas duras, son sinónimo de guerras, entonces enfrentar un peleador mexicano es un ingrediente pues aparte. La verdad va a ser una pelea dura y muy fuerte.
No, the strongest part, the most difficult part of facing Chavez is that he's Mexican. And anytime you have a fight between two Mexicans, it's a guarantee. It's a guaranteed spectacular fight, and it brings out that extra. It makes it, that much more tougher. It guarantees the war. Por último, para Oscar de la Hoya. Oscar, por esta expectativa que dices, por el interés de la gente, porque en México se espera que lo vean 50 millones, ¿cuántas casas crees que pueda llegar a vender Canelo Chávez este 6 de mayo en el Pay-Per-View de HBO?
Pues
The question is for Oscar, as far as the pay-per-view, with all the expectation, with all the build, with all the people expecting this great fight and waiting for this great fight, what do you expect the pay-per-view to be in the U.S.? Pues fíjate que no quiero decir el número, pero obviamente esperamos recabar récords. Obviamente
They gotta fix that.
estamos muy contentos de que la pelea ya se vendió en menos de 2 semanas. Los boletos, otra indicación, los boletos de circuito cerrado, el MGM está abriendo más propiedades porque los boletos se están vendiendo rápidamente, así que estamos bien asumidos que esta pelea va a vender bastante pay-per-view.
Oscar, we're very happy with how it's going. I mean, obviously, the way the tickets sold out, and now at pay-per-view, it took closed circuits opening up. MGM's opening up more properties for closed circuit. Won't give you a number now, but we're very happy, and we can see that it's going to do very well, break some records.
Gracias, éxito para todos. Un saludo.
Thank you. And our next question comes from Dan Rafael from ESPN. Please go ahead. Your line is open.
Thank you very much. Canelo, I was wondering if you could I know you have had won world titles before. You've been a champion multiple times, but this is not a title fight. But in your opinion, is this even a bigger fight than any defense of a world title or fighting for a world title, just because of the pride that's at stake, because of how significant this fight is to you and your fans and pretty much all the Mexican boxing fans, that the pride is almost a bigger deal than a world title?
Sobre esta pelea, pues no es por un título, has sido campeón tú ya varias veces, has peleado por campeonatos, pero significa esto un poco más para ti esta pelea, aunque no sea por título, por el orgullo, porque es contra el rival y por el honor a México.
No, sí, es más por orgullo que cualquier otra cosa. Es más por orgullo que cualquier otra cosa. La verdad es que esta pelea no es por título, pero va más por encima que cualquier título y creo que es más interesante por eso, ¿no? Porque interesa más el orgullo que cualquier otra cosa. Obviamente para mí los títulos son importantes también, pero esta pelea va más por encima de eso, es el orgullo, las ganas de ganar y seguir avanzando.
Yes, Dan, absolutely. This is, titles are very important to me, but this is above that. This goes above a title, any title. It's for honor, for pride, and it's very important. And to keep making history in my career.
Hey, Oscar, I was wondering if you could address that also. You were in a lot of fights in your career against other Mexican opponents, Mexican-American opponents, whether it was Genaro Hernandez or Rafael Ruelas, or certainly your huge fights with Julio Sr. Can you speak to what Canelo was talking about that maybe the pride and the glory for Mexico, that sort of attitude is perhaps even a bigger deal to the Mexican boxers than having a title at stake or even maybe even the money, for all I know. What is your thoughts about that?
These are the types of fights that take you to a whole new level in terms of your boxing abilities inside the ring. It makes you obviously train harder. It gives you that extra motivation. If you want to go run 10 miles today, well, guess what? You're going to run 11 or 12 because you're so amped because the fight is so personal. And look, both fighters are going to be in the best shape of their life. But for some strange reason, there's something extra that comes out in you. Canelo and Chavez are going to find out that, wow, I didn't know I can do this move, or I didn't know I can throw this combination at such a fast pace, or that extra motivation. It's going to be all an instinctual. It's going to be all because of that pride, because of that stake. We're going to see two completely different fighters that we've never seen before inside the ring on May 6th, and it's all because of that pride and that stake.
Oscar, could you rate this among other big-time all-Mexico fights, whether it's Barrera and Morales, as you mentioned in your opening remarks, or certainly the fights between, say, Barrera fought Marquez? I mean, there's been a lot of great Mexicans who fought each other, but I mean, you obviously fights that you were involved in, against other Mexican fighters. Can you put it in any kind of context for me?
In terms of action inside the ring, yes, I would say kind of like Barrera Morales. In terms of the event of how big it is, I cannot remember a fight against two Mexicans that has created so much interest, anticipation. So this is probably the biggest event, boxing event, with two Mexican fighters. But in terms of in the ring, I would have to say we're going to see action like Barrera Morales.
Well, hopefully you're right about that. I wanted to ask Canelo also. He's going up. Canelo, you're going up quite a bit on weight compared to your typical fighting weight. I'm wondering if you could talk about what's been the biggest factor in that, and how do you feel putting on that weight, and how do you think he'll take your power at the new weight?
Saúl, vas a subir ahora pues bastante peso a lo que ha estado acostumbrado peleando. ¿Qué ha sido el obstáculo mayor? ¿Y cómo sientes cómo crees que él va a sentir tu poder el día de la pelea? No, me he sentido muy bien. He estado haciendo sparring con rivales, con sparring más pesados que yo, semicompletos. Me siento muy fuerte. No me voy a tener que deshidratar tanto, obviamente tengo que bajar porque estoy por encima de ese peso, pero no voy a perder mi fuerza bajando tantos kilos. Entonces me he sentido muy fuerte con los sparring, me he sentido también muy fuerte. Entonces hemos hecho una gran preparación y es lo que vamos a ver, ¿no? Obviamente cómo nos vamos a sentir en este peso, pero soy un peleador que sabe adaptarse a las circunstancias, así que vamos a dar lo mejor de nosotros para ese día, para que sea una gran pelea y darle al público una gran pelea.
Yeah, and I've been feeling very good. I've been training with sparring partners much bigger, light heavyweights, bigger than me. I'm feeling very comfortable, very good, very strong. Not having to dehydrate as much, you know. I'm still having to go down in weight because I'm above the weight that the fight is scheduled, set for, but I don't have to dehydrate totally. So we'll see come fight night how I feel, how the body adapts. I'm a fighter that knows how to adapt to the situations, and my body adapts well. And I'm just anxious and looking forward to giving the public a beautiful fight, a great fight come May 6th.
Canelo, he quit against Andrew Fonfara. Oscar made his father quit in their rematch. Do you think you can make this guy quit?
Él pues tiró la toalla, se tiró la toalla en la pelea con Fonfara. Oscar hizo que su papá también se rindiera en la esquina y no salía. ¿Tú crees que lo puedas hacer que ya no salga, que tire la toalla? Todo se puede en el boxeo, todo se puede en el boxeo. Y como dijo Bernard Hopkins, cuando un peleador una vez se rinde, se puede rendir dos veces, así que no es descabellado que pase.
Everything's possible in boxing. And as the great Bernard Hopkins once said, once a quitter, always a quitter. So anything's possible.
Thank you very much. I look forward to this one. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our next question comes from Ricardo Zuniga, Associated Press. Please go ahead.
Hola, Canelo, buenas tardes a todos. Canelo, quisiera tu opinión sobre las fotos que ha estado publicando Chavez en redes sociales, donde se le ve que está por lo menos en la foto se le ve que está en una muy buena condición física. ¿Qué opinas de tanto de la condición física que él exhibe, como del hecho de que tenga que estar publicando todo esto en redes sociales, quizás de alguna manera para limpiar un poco su nombre, ¿no? Ya que ha tenido problemas anteriores para hacer peso y de condición?
The question is for Canelo, that what do you think about the pictures that Chavez Jr. has been posting? What do you think of his conditioning, his physical being now? And what do you think that he seems to be having to post these pictures to try to clean the image of his past performances and training regimens?
No, la verdad que no me impresiona nada. Todos los rivales con los que he peleado se preparan bien, tienen un gran físico. Y eso no me intimida ni me impresiona nada. Yo también me preparo
preparo muy bien, siempre tengo un gran físico, soy un peleador fuerte, así que he peleado desde los 15 años con peleadores más grandes, más fuertes que yo, y nunca me ha intimidado nada, al contrario, me pone muy contento que se prepare bien para que no haya ninguna excusa, ningún pretexto, y eso voy a brindarle a la gente una gran pelea.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't intimidate me. Look, I've been fighting professionally since I was 15 years old, so I've been fighting bigger and stronger guys. So on the contrary, I'm very happy that he's working hard, that he's training hard, and that he's doing good. Because you know what? That just guarantees the people a great fight. I'm doing my thing like I always do. I have my conditioning. I'm feeling strong, and I'm looking good. But I'm glad that he is as well.
Sí, Canelo, ¿siguen pie la cuenta que habían hecho de la bolsa?
No, su papá no lo dejó.
The question is the bet still on that you guys made? And Canelo's answer is no, his dad didn't let him.
Thank you. And our next question comes from Brian Campbell from CBS Sports. Please go ahead.
Thank you, everybody. Canelo, I was interested in knowing, what is your history with knowing and talking to Chavez Jr. personally? How far back does it go, and how have you always perceived him as a person?
¿Cómo es tu historia con Chavez Jr.? ¿Casi cuánto tiempo se hablan o no se hablan? ¿O están la rivalidad? ¿Y cuál es tu... qué piensas de él como persona?
Hace casi 10 años más o menos, que empezó esta rivalidad en Guadalajara. Esta rivalidad. En ese entonces ellos eran los que tenían el poder de poder hacer las peleas, nunca tuvieron ni la intención ni siquiera de hacer las peleas. Y como persona, pues, no sé realmente su persona, ¿no? Pero a lo que percibo, pues en realidad es una persona que habla mucho, que es una persona que no sostiene lo que dice, no es una persona coherente. A mí se me figura como si fuera un niño todavía.
Well, this rivalry goes back about 10 years. You know, so like in Guadalajara, they had the opportunity to make this fight. They had the power to make this fight. Back then, they didn't want to. As a person, you know, I don't know him well, but just from what I hear, from his actions and all, it's like a guy that just doesn't sustain what he says, you know, it just says a lot of things. It's almost like he's a little kid.
You know, I'd like to ask for you overcome earlier in your career the idea that you're a pretty boy and not a true Mexican warrior. So, as things stand right now, how do you gauge the temperature of the Mexican public as to whether they'll be supporting you or Chavez Jr. in this fight?
Desde chicos, pues, o sea, tuviste que enfrentar a mucha gente y callarlos prácticamente, que no nada más eres una cara bonita, sino que un guerrero verdadero mexicano. ¿Cómo piensas que el público se va a dividir ahorita en esta pelea con Chavez?
No, mira, yo tengo muchos fans y, ¿sabes? Los fans que tengo, ¿sabes? Que me he ganado esto desde nada hasta llegar a los...
Yeah, I got my questions already written down.
Obviamente, él tiene muchos fans, no por él, por lo que ha hecho él.
Might not be into the end, though.
If. Uno de los mejores, que hay todavía gente que pues, lo vio, ¿no? Lo vio, lo acogió a la vez pasada, pero por él, ¿no? Porque en sí su carrera ha sido altibajo, no ha sido una carrera de disciplina, de que puedan ser un ejemplo para niños o para la gente, ¿no? Yo creo que más que nada por su papá, por lo que hizo su papá, pero mis fans están ahí viendo lo que me interesa. Yo, como siempre he dicho, si son 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, 20,000 o millones, yo con eso tengo, me da mucho aliento y es lo que necesito, nada más.
Look, my fans are there. My fans know that I started from nothing, from the bottom up, from zero, and have worked my way up with, you know, a lot of sweat and sacrifices. He has his fans as well. But I think a lot of his fans are more his father's fans, and have seen his father and that follow his father and like what his father says, because he's shown a lot of ups and downs in his career, and not a real disciplined career, not a good role model for the young children and the young fighters. So, you know what? And I've always said, whether I have 1,000, 5,000, 20,000, or millions, I'm very fortunate, I'm very happy, and I'm very appreciative of them, and I'll give them 100% of it.
And our next question comes from Jose Sanchez from Chicago. Please go ahead.
Sí, hola Canelo. Quería preguntarte si podemos hablar de la motivación extra que puede traer Chavez Jr, ¿no? Que está jugando prácticamente su carrera en este combate contra ti. ¿Y tú de alguna manera esperas que sea algo más fuerte que la que tienes que enfrentar?
The question is for Canelo that this motivation that Chavez is showing in his camp and his training and his talking, does that bother you? That you appreciate it? I mean, what do you think about that? Because obviously he seems highly motivated for this fight against you.
No, ojalá esté motivado y ojalá entrene como dicen que está entrenando. Para mí eso me pone contento porque lo que quiero es darle una gran pelea a la afición y que no haya pretexto, ¿no? Entonces, a mí me pone muy contento y espero así sea.
No, I hope so. I hope everything we're hearing, everything you're hearing is true, and that he is training extra hard and extra motivated, because that just makes me happy. That makes me happy because that just means we're going to give the public, the fans, a beautiful fight.
Ahí quería preguntarte, sabemos que tú te preparas bien para tus peleas, para pelear a la distancia, no hace falta, pero piensa que esta pelea puede llegar a la distancia o piensa que se acaba.
The question is, we know you prepare yourself very good.
No te escuché la pregunta.
Que sabemos que te preparas muy bien para todas tus peleas, para la distancia, pero crees que pueda haber knockout o que llegue a la distancia. So the question is, we know you prepare yourself 100%, you're always training hard to go the distance, to prepare for the 12 rounds, but do you think this fight will go the 12 rounds?
Bueno, es un alto porcentaje de que termine esa pelea por nocaut, por la pegada de los dos, por el peso en el que estamos. Y muy poca la posibilidad de que termine por decisión, ¿no? Entonces, esa es la verdad. Entonces, vamos a ver qué sucede. Vamos a ver qué sucede en la pelea. Obviamente, siempre ganar por nocaut es espectacular para el boxeador y para la gente también. Entonces, esperamos que termine una gran pelea y termine de la mejor manera para que la gente salga contenta y obviamente también nosotros satisfechos.
Look, there's a very high percentage that this fight could end by knockout because of our styles, because of obviously the weight, the size of each other. And, you know, obviously a knockout is spectacular for the fighter, for the fans, and we'll see what's going to happen come the fight, and we're going to give it 100% to do everything possible to give the fans what they want.
Thank you. And our next question comes from Mitch Abramson from ringtv.com. Please go ahead.
Thanks a lot. I have a question for Oscar. Hey, Oscar, how are you? Thank you. Hey, good. So Triple G now is likely going to be out until the fall. It looks like he's not going to be fighting the June 10th fight in Kazakhstan. Are you pleased by that, just in terms of possibly making the fight with Triple G and Canelo for the fall?
Our focus is on Canelo and Chavez. I actually didn't even know he was not going to fight in June. That's obviously a good indication, but our focus is on Canelo and Chavez.
All right, I have a question then for Canelo. Canelo, do you view this matchup with Chavez in any way as preparation for the eventual fight with Golovkin in terms of the size and style and maybe the chins?
¿Ves esta pelea con Chavez como una pelea de preparación hacia una futura pelea con Golovkin por su tamaño, por su aguante, por su estilo?
No, simplemente eso es una pelea más, es una pelea importante para mí. Y no me estoy enfocando ahorita en esa pelea, simplemente no se tenga en cuenta eso.
No, not at all. This is just another fight, and it's a very important fight for me, and I'm not focusing on any other fighter but the fight that I have in front of me.
Thank you. And our next question comes from Ivan Venezuela from Telemundo. Please go ahead.
¿Qué tal, Canelo? ¿Qué tal a todos por allá? Tengo dos preguntitas.
I'm probably not going to get a question in.
Para Oscar de la Hoya. Canelo mencionaba también en una
If I do, they're probably going to just throw me a bone. Like the last question.
¿Eso es algo que también te motiva o te da coraje o estás esperando simple y sencillamente callarle la boca dentro del cuadrilátero? The question is for Canelo that you mentioned in a couple of interviews that it bothers you that Chavez Jr. talks so much behind your back, but when he's face to face with you, doesn't say much. Is that an extra motivation for come fight night to shut him up?
No, solamente, obviamente me motiva mucho, pero solo estoy esperando el día de la pelea para aplicar todo eso.
Yes, obviously it motivates me, and I'm just waiting for May 6th. I'm building up because come May 6th, I'm going to let it all out.
And our next question comes from Juan Carlos Hernandez from Univision. Please go ahead.
Hola, ¿qué tal, Saúl? A todos por allá. Hoy, ¿qué es lo que te preocupa más?
I'm not sweating. It's the light. See?
Pero ¿cuál es la estrategia para enfrentar al Julio?
The question is for Canelo that what is it that worries you most or concerns you more with Chavez Jr.? His knowledge or what is it?
No, mira, siempre hemos traído
76, but it's cooler in here. I'm actually a little chilly. I'm waiting to see if I can get a question in. I'm all written down.
Look, I mean, obviously we have a strategy, and I can't.
You just don't ask questions. It's a cue. They pick you.
On that, bell rings, first round.
They open up your line.
Window, you got to adapt to something else, and that's what we're doing. We're working hard. We're preparing. We're training hard to come in with a plan and see how he brings it, and we can adapt to it.
Thank you. And our next question comes from Jake Donovan from FightNight.com. Your line is open.
Thank you. Most of my questions have been answered. I just wanted to ask Canelo what it feels like to train at this heavyweight. From the outside looking in, I mean, he just sounds happier and livelier on the conference call alone. I just wonder if it's been an easier transition than like going into training camp and worried about cutting weight. Saúl, prácticamente te oyes, te sientes, se nota muy diferente ahorita en esa llamada, por ejemplo, más tranquilo, más contento. ¿Qué cambio realmente has sentido tú en esta pelea por el peso?
No, siempre estoy contento, la verdad que siempre estoy contento. Realmente no voy a tener que bajar tantos kilos como lo hacen otras peleas, no voy a tener que hidratarme tanto, obviamente tengo que bajar de todas maneras kilos, pero pues, estamos muy contentos, como siempre, trabajando al 100%, me gusta lo que hago, lo disfruto y siempre estamos de buen ánimo.
No, you know what? I'm always real happy. I'm always, you know me, tranquil person. But obviously in this fight, I don't have to go down as many pounds, the weight. But it's part of me. It's my characteristic. I'm always a happy person. I love what I do.
Thank you. And our next question comes from Gail Falkenthal from TstreeT Digest. Please go ahead.
Good morning, everybody.
We might be coming up soon.
Cause Chavez Jr. to quit, or you administer a very severe beating to him, or any part of you feel sad for his father?
Si haces que él no salga, tire la toalla, se rinda, o le pongas un castigo severo, parte de ti sentirá un poco de tristeza por su papá.
No, la verdad que no. Yo no pienso en eso. No sé cómo se va a desarrollar la pelea, pero yo no he pensado, no estoy contestando sobre eso, pero sí, como lo que sí te puedo decir es que yo me voy a subir a tratar de ganar la pelea y eso en el boxeo se trata de lastimar lo más que se pueda asegurar.
Look, I don't think of that. I don't give that thought. It's something that doesn't even cross mind. I just know that, look, I got to go in there, do my job, do what I have to do. And that's part of boxing, to hurt your opponent and beat your opponent more than he could beat you. So that's what I'm focused on, going in there and winning and beating you.
And our next question comes from Ellie Sekmak from ES News. Please go ahead.
Hello, Canelo. Hello, Oscar. Canelo, your trainers, Eddie and Chepo, of course, they're doing a tremendous job, but they don't always get the recognition. Why do you think that is?
Canelo, Eddie y Chepo, obviamente están haciendo un trabajo tremendo en el gimnasio, en la esquina contigo, pero no siempre les dan el reconocimiento. ¿Por qué piensas que es eso?
No sé la verdad, no sé por qué no se lo dan. Siempre yo he dicho que un entrenador es el que hace un peleador desde no saber nada, que no sabe tirar un jab. Entonces eso es lo que es realmente un entrenador, no entrenar, no uno que ya le llegan hechos y que nada más los preparan, estos se llaman preparadores. Pero un entrenador es el que hace un peleador desde no saber nada, y Chepo y así es como me quieran hasta llegar hasta donde estamos.
I don't know. I really don't know, and I don't understand it. You know, a trainer is a person that gets a fighter that doesn't even know how to throw a jab, that doesn't even know how to, the fighter doesn't even know how to walk, and teaches them. Now, on the other side, when a trainer gets a fighter that's already made and all they have to do is conditioning, those are conditioning coaches, not trainers. And Eddie and Chepo, when I started with them, I didn't even know how to throw a jab, and they taught me. Those are trainers.
And our next question comes from Jerome Sosa from First Class Boxing. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. Is there any concern with Team Canelo with Chavez training with Nacho Beristain and any strategy he might implement come May 6th?
¿Hay alguna preocupación de que Chavez Jr. esté entrenando con Nacho Beristain y que la estrategia que pueda traer el 6 de mayo?
No, ninguna preocupación. Nosotros siempre entrenamos muy bien, somos los mejores entrenadores. Un peleador que ha estado toda su vida en un mismo estilo no puede cambiar nada, simplemente hacer una gran preparación es lo único que pueden hacer, ¿no? Y darle dos consejos, pero no, ninguna preocupación, si así fuera, si me enseñara más cosas, no importa, no.
Yeah, I gotta get this shit taken down.
Nosotros nos preocupamos por entrenar al 100%, por llegar en las mejores condiciones para hacer y poder para hacer lo nuestro y poder hacer nuestras habilidades arriba del cuadrilátero con comodidad.
No, not at all. There's no worries whatsoever. I mean, a fighter that's already been made, a fighter that, how much more can he teach?
That's what I've been doing all this paperwork for.
But you can get him in great
to get the money together for this.
Words of advice, have the best trainers,
Just
the best corner in the world. So we just have to focus and worry about ourselves.
Got to send them off after this.
Doing our work, and obviously when we go right to the fight, we'll see.
And our next question comes from Rodrigo Garcia from Record. Please go ahead.
Hola, Canelo, Chepo, quienes todos por allá, Oscar. Canelo, primero que nada, ¿por qué crees que la mayoría de la gente y expertos te consideran como el amplio favorito de Chavez Jr.?
The question is, to Canelo, why do you think that majority of the experts have you as a big favorite against Chavez Jr.?
Porque ven la disciplina, el talento, lo que ha hecho en el boxeo, los conocedores saben que me preparo bien, mis habilidades que tengo, el talento.
I'm going to upload the full call.
Because they know based on my history, my
a clearer version later on tonight.
My talent, and obviously all the experts see that and they know.
Well, you won't hear me talking unless it's my question, if I get one.
Hace tiempo que le parecían extrañas las pruebas antidoping que le habían realizado, porque solo fueron de orina, y alegó que tal vez tú escondías algo.
So how it works
De tanta declaración polémica
is they start with the big organizations first, like ESPN, CBS, all the way down. So I'm at the low end.
Canelo was hiding something. What do you have to say about that?
Mira, son puras pendejadas lo que dice, la verdad. Son puras pendejadas lo que dice, porque Vada es una empresa de mucho prestigio.
See, this is a big time media call. So no telling how many people on this call. It can be 100 different media reporters, maybe more. And so, like I said, I'll be lucky to get a question in.
His declarations are very...
Él ya ha salido con doping, y yo nunca en mi vida, en toda mi carrera, gracias a Dios, nunca he salido con doping. Siempre he sido un peleador limpio, y no le ha salido 2 veces o 3 veces con doping. Entonces creo que no tiene cara para decir cosas estúpidas.
What he's saying is very stupid. Simply put, very stupid, because we're talking about the top agency, a very professional. Whether they do blood, whether they do urine, whatever they do, they know what they're doing. And I haven't tested positive ever in my career. And he tested 2 or 3 times. So he should shut up and worry about himself and then stop saying those stupid things.
And our next question comes from Jake Donovan from FightNights.com. Please go ahead.
Thanks for letting me back in. I just want to ask Canelo, being that this fight is taking place at a higher weight, and I know he doesn't want to look past May 6th, if he now considers himself a true middleweight, and also if he still considers himself the middleweight champion of the world.
Saúl sabe que no quieres mirar hacia el frente, estás concentrado el 6 de mayo, que esta pelea obviamente va en un peso pactado arriba del peso natural que has estado peleando. Ya te consideras un peso mediano, un peso medio y el campeón de peso medio.
No, bueno, no sé, ya he sido campeón medio, entonces no es que me considero ahorita, pues no somos campeón de nada, acabo de dejar el campeonato de la OMB superfuerte. Lo que sí es que estoy enfocado 100% en esta pelea y no me importa nada más, ¿no? Después de esto, obviamente, lo que esperamos es estar en las 160 libras, eso es mi posibilidad.
Look, I'm not a current world champion at middleweight. I have been in the past, but I'm not now. And as far as the weight, I'm after this fight, I'm not looking for past this fight. I'm focused 100% on this fight, but I'm now staying at middleweight. I'll stay at 165.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and this concludes our call. A reminder to all the media, a todos los medios, abril 19 at the House of Boxing in San Diego. More details to follow. Canelo Chavez May 6th, obviously sold out. Again, tickets are going extremely fast for closed circuit, which is a great indication. Everybody's excited, so we will see you May 6th, and some closing comments from Canelo, and we will end the call. Gracias.
Saúl, unas palabras para cerrar ya con la prensa.
No, muchas gracias, agradecerles todo el apoyo que le han brindado a esta promoción y pues los espero el 19 de abril para el último entrenamiento público y próximamente el 6 de mayo o la semana de la pelea para que estén pendientes. Muchas gracias a todos y a toda la gente que está pendiente.
I want to thank all of you for all the support you've given the promotion. I'll see you all on April 19th at the public workout, and then obviously the fight week, and then during the fight on May 6th. I want to see all the people there and support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes today's conference. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.
Well, yeah, that was whack. But as I explained to you before, like, even though TstreeT controversy is somewhat known, I have a new, I'm Fight View 360. So we're down at the bottom of the totem pole. It's the same way with all media calls. They start with like the ESPNs, the Yahoo Sports, the CBSs, the boxing scenes. They start with those known names, those known names of writers first. And then as time goes on, depending on how big the media call is, for example, when I do media calls, I'm able to get questions in on calls like Golovkin versus Jacobs, because that call was like, it was only like 12 hours notice. So for a call with Canelo Alvarez, an international superstar, there probably was 100 or so people, maybe more, waiting in the queue to get their questions answered. So as time goes on, I say, give me about a year or so, you know, we're going to be like up there within like the top 5 of like the calls. But what you have to do is, to get there, you have to be on all of those calls, and so they know that they keep saying your name. You know, so guys like Dan Rayfield, they have to go first. You know, that's just you know, you don't leave, despite what you may think about him, you don't leave ESPN waiting. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's ESPN, you know, so that's just the way it goes. But here's the question I was going to ask. You know, of course, these are just like rough drafts, but as I would have asked the question, I would have worded it better. So I was going to ask, what was the thought process behind the 164-pound catch weight? You know, I want to know, even though we heard about how it came about, I want Oscar to talk about how it came about. Another question is, now, of course, I would have only been able to ask about 2 of these questions, but you always got to make sure you have like multiple questions. Another question is the power and size advantage of Chavez something that you're concerned about Canelo? But I would have kind of spiced the question up a little bit. Another question was, I would have asked to Oscar De La Hoya, even though they say shit like, well, we're not going to look past, you know, Chavez, I would have tried to put him into a situation where I wanted him to talk about how Danny Jacobs looked against Golovkin, or how Golovkin looked against Danny Jacobs. Another question, which was an important question, the number one question I wanted to ask is, what's your projection for the fight as far as pay-per-view buys are concerned, and was that the deciding factor in picking Chavez over Golovkin? And also, I wanted to ask about the status of Canelo's WBO title. Now that he's saying he's staying at 160, he's not going to 154. So basically, he's going to vacate that title. You know, so that was pretty much my questions. You know, and for Chavez, until I found out Chavez was not going to be on the call, my question with Chavez was to ask, you know, like, how do you feel that fans are counting you out simply because they are saying, you know, that you're going to be drained, or you're not going to make weight? You know, those were the questions that I wanted, you know, like to ask, because I've noticed, and I'll say it again, that a lot of people are counting Chavez out simply because of his past lack of discipline, of him not making weight in the past, and them saying that, you know, he's not going to be able to get to that 164.5. But right now they're saying he's at about 170, 172. So if you see what they're doing is, he's close to fight weight right now, and he's got to walk around for almost 25 days, you know, at this weight. So, you know, the way that they're bringing him down is very smart. They're not just going to drop, you know, 20 pounds in fight week like you know, some boxers do, or 10 pounds in fight week. You know, like I'm really feeling their strategy. So, you know, it's like this, man. Chavez can really upset a lot of money. Now, Oscar said during the media call that he just heard about the fact that Golovkin is not going to fight in June, and that he's going to wait to see how, you know, what happens with Canelo versus Chavez. But Chavez has a chance to fuck up a lot of money. Also, I wanted to ask Oscar, you know, if I could, you know, about, like, is there a rematch clause? You know, like, if you lose, like, if Canelo loses to Chavez in May, will he fight Chavez again in September? And where does that leave Golovkin? You know, so that's why sometimes you get a little frustrated on these media calls, because it's like, you know, the questions that the people ask, they're not that they're bad questions. They're good questions, but they're not questions that create headlines, and they're not questions that people really want to know that, you know, answers to. You know, there's so many questions on these media calls that you can ask, you know, that you can ask these, you know, Canelo or you know, or Eric Gomez, you know, VP of Golden Boy, or even Oscar De La Hoya, without, you know, them ducking around your question. See what I'm saying? Because the first thing you'll say is, well, you know, what is the likelihood of him fighting Golovkin in September, down that Golovkin is not fighting in June? What is Oscar De La Hoya likely going to say? Well, we're focused on Chavez. We're not going to look past Chavez. This is just regular shit. That's what they say. You know? So we're about 25 days or so away. It's going to be lit. Also, you know, I really wanted to know about pay-per-view buys, because this is a situation where you have, and I've been talking to some people, that they have to pick and choose which one they're going to watch, because you have Canelo versus Chavez in May, and then on HBO pay-per-view the next month, you have Ward versus Kovalev too. So which one would you pick? If you only buy one, which one would you pick? You know, they both have major significance. You know, they both have major significance. You know, so I obviously, like I said, y'all can't count me. You know, don't count me. I have to buy all the fights. Don't count me. But if I had a choice, you know, which one would I buy? You know, I would buy Canelo versus Chavez because that can fuck up, you know, if Chavez wins, that can fuck up a lot of money. Also, is that fight really a million pay-per-view buy fight? You know, it's got a lot of hype around it. But remember, they said that Cotto versus Canelo was going to be like 2.1 million or some shit. That shit did 900K. You know, so what's the projection on this? Because we obviously should know as educated boxing fans that the reason why they picked Chavez at that 164-pound, 164.5-pound catch weight was because they know that Chavez, well, they were counting on Chavez to be drained, right? But also they know that they would make more money against Chavez than they would against Golovkin, and they're counting on, well, you know, let's fight Chavez, but let's get him at a drained weight, or get him, or see if we can drain him. And Oscar himself has been through it. People are saying that Chavez is going to be eating energy bars and eating fucking pre-fight IVs like Floyd Mayweather, you know, to rehydrate and shit. How many pay-per-view buys do I think Canelo versus Chavez is going to do? Like 800K, 700, you know, nah, because 800K, I'm going to say 800K, 800, 900K. I would be really surprised if it does 1 point anything million buys. I would be really surprised. And it's just this landscape, man. Pay-per-views are dying out, not because people don't really want to buy them, because they know there's free ways to watch them. Pay-per-view buy, like, if people, put it this way, you guys being hardcore boxing fans, right? If there was no streaming, right, you would find a way to watch some of these fights. You would find a way. You'd be like, shit, let me find some of my homie watching it. I'm going to come up with some bread. But it's so easy to watch these fights for free. So easy. You know? And to stop it, you have to put millions of dollars in it. That's what they did with Mayweather Pacquiao. You know, but the money was there to put in all that cybersecurity shit. You know? The money was there. It's not there with this one so much. You know, but that's pretty much it for this stream. You know, what time did we start? Yeah, it's been about an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. I got to fucking head to the post office because, like I said, people fucking bitching at me. You know, and I got to get these wood panels down. You know, I got to get this shit down. I got to go fucking drop off some bills and shit. You know, mail off a whole bunch of receipts to the post office. I mean, take them to the post office, and then, you know, pay some bills. You know, fucking shave this shit. And I'm going to come back in about maybe, I'm not going to put a time on it. But sometime today, I still got to do a recap on what happened at the Ward versus Kovalev press conference. So I can't talk about it during this video because I want to keep this video strictly Canelo versus Chavez. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the actual media call, you know, in high quality where you won't hear me talking in the background. I'm going to upload the actual full media call to the website later on this evening for anybody who wants to hear it. But really, there really wasn't no controversy on the call outside of Canelo saying that Chavez Jr. fans is really his Pop fans. And he got pissed off about, you know, I forgot the question somebody was asking about, you know, VADA and, you know, possibly failing the drug test. You know, but nobody really asked the questions that people want to know, like what's going to happen with that WBO title. You know, what's the projection for the pay-per-view buys? You know, what about the power and size of Canelo? I mean, of Chavez. And what if Canelo's power doesn't carry out? You know, ask Oscar De La Hoya how this fight may be similar, you know, to when he fought, when he went too far up in weight and fought Bernard Hopkins and got knocked out. You know, or what about this 164-pound 0.5 catch weight? You know, how did that come about? You see what I'm saying? So I'm disappointed in the call, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, so let's hope we get a media call from Chavez Jr. sometime soon. Also, the media workout for Canelo is going to be on April the 19th. What's that? Monday, Tuesday, this Wednesday. You know, we're going to try to get somebody there. Feel me? TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe. Also, check out all the Ward Kovalev stuff that I put up from yesterday. Some real, detailed information in there. And basically, from my understanding, from what I got from it, is that Ward was not ducking Kovalev or the rematch. The rematch was always going to happen. It's just that Ward wanted more money, but not outside of the contract, like sponsors from and money from title and all that stuff. So that's why I said we got to talk about it. But TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.